G'day everyone, welcome to the local footy pod. Everyone loves it. Everyone's telling their friends about it, but we need a bit more action. So just go on, do your bit. Do your bit for the community and let everyone know that we are the footy pod for everyone that plays local footy, lower level footy, junior footy, school footy, whatever it is. We're the pod for you. And we are right on the edge of the season. And it's very, very exciting. Good Friday, Easter footy coming your way. And we'll talk about that through the pod this week. My name's Daniel Harford. Played plenty of local footy, played senior footy as well. Done all the things, but I need some help when I get to this phase of my my local footy knowledge, and we go to one man and one man only when it comes to this. Nick Sacco is the man. He joins us again. Welcome, Nico.
Harf, great to be with you once again. It's getting real close now, isn't it, the start of local footy season?
Who's more excited, you or the team at Premier Data who power our podcast here, getting ready for a big season? They've got itchy fingers, all the team at Premier Data, just waiting to put some stats in the computer.
Tough competition. I don't know if they're as excited as I am, but I'll take their word for it that they're ready to go. No, it's going to be really exciting. There's always so much anticipation with a new local footy season. I know some leagues around the country have already gotten themselves underway, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on. But with Easter starting at the beginning of April, it's the perfect springboard for a lot of these local footy comps to get underway.
Well, that's right. You mentioned some clubs and comps have already started. We've got the Tassie Footy League, the Southern Footy League in the Premier League in Tassie. We're going to speak to the president of Glenorchy on our next pod, who had Gary Ablett Junior down for last weekend's game. How good would that be to have Gaz playing with you?
Oh, it would be extraordinary. And we had a great chat to Pete exactly what that looked like for some of the local players that have been around the club for a long time and what it meant for the club as well. So, yeah, to have someone of Gary Ablett Junior's ilk, one of the greatest players of the modern era, it would have been a pretty big thrill, I would imagine.
And he's not the sort of guy, Gaz, that just sort of throws himself around willy-nilly for these opportunities. He's not playing every week. He's not doing 10 or 12 a year of these things. This is a pretty pinpointed moment for him and them.
Absolutely. And you just have to think about that some of these players, especially of his ilk, they probably don't give their time to these ventures and to have someone of his generosity go down to Tassie and play a role for a club, which, again, we'll hear about a bit later on during the week, that has had their struggles of recent times. It's a pretty cool thing. So it's a great thrill what he's doing on field, but also the impact that he has off field. It's great.
So I'm looking forward to that chat with Pete Barwick. That's our next pod, so make sure you stick around for that. It's got me thinking, though. I mean, you've been involved in local footy for a long time. You've seen plenty of action up close and personal. Who's the highest calibre, highest profile player that you've seen? Because we can throw this out to our community out there in the local land about who's the best calibre credentialed player they've seen play local footy or played with, even better. Who'd you play with?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've played with anyone of ilk. Sorry to everyone in the Mill Park Under-12s premiership team. They're all great players and good mates, but I don't think any of them reached great heights. Probably the most successful player to come, I'll go from a Mill Park Footy Club perspective.
Yeah.
Jaden Short's probably the best.
Is he Mill Park boy?
He is, yes.
I didn't know that.
His late dad coached both my brothers at junior level, a great man. And, yeah, Jaden Short came from the ranks at Mill Park, and he's probably the most successful to come out of the club. So I'll probably give him that nomination.
What about when you were hanging out in the Northern Footy Netball League as a media boss? Surely there's some big names played in that competition.
Oh, there was heaps. I mean, we had...
Gary Moorcroft was fighting around for 140 years.
Was pretty incredible. Shane Harvey, who spent a couple of years down at Essendon in North Melbourne, he became one of the greats at local footy level, and then his brother Boomer came across once he retired at AFL level, and he was absolutely fantastic. I mean, we spoke about Ahmed Saad, who we had on a few weeks ago. He was excellent at Northern footy level. So, yes, there's certainly quite a few. There's some that have made their one-off appearances, of course, at times, but overall, there's been a great list of players. Most have obviously been at the AFL level that have come through and played a role at local footy. What about yourself?
Boomer's going to be tough to beat, though, isn't he? Boomer's going to be tough. 432 games. Scotty Pendlebury's about to break that record, which I know he's flat about too, just by the way. He's so flat, Boomer, that Pendles is going to break his record. He's still playing at Heidelberg, isn't he, Boomer, or is he retired?
No, he's technically retired. I think he had a couple of one-off games.
He played at Trentham last year.
Yes.
He did too.
Yeah, last year.
He did.
And then I'm not sure he'll be pulling on the boots again this year. He said that every year. I'm not sure if that's the case. But he's got over, between AFL and local footy, Boomer's got over 500 games of experience.
He loves it.
Belt.
And he's still in ripping nick too. It's really sickening when you see him up close because he looks magnificent still.
What about yourself?
Makes me sick.
From local level, Harf, anyone that sticks out?
from local level, I coached and played with Joel Smith. He was an All-Australian,
Yes, yeah.
great champ of the Hawthorn Footy Club. Spent some time, obviously, at St Kilda early. Alan Murray, we spoke about last week. He's a super player at local level. Paddy Bowden was great. Worked alongside him for a little while. They're sort of the guys that come to mind straight away. And from AFL perspective, but there's a lot of guys come back these days and play local footy, which I think is great because you will find, and we spoke to Ahmed Saad the other week, and that was a good chat, but you will find that when you step out of the spotlight, so to speak, and you just play footy again because it's the game you've always loved, it is a very cool thing to do, and it almost takes you full circle in your footy journey. So if anyone is out there in AFL land at the moment listening, and you're thinking about, you're nearly at the end, play local footy. If you can, just keep playing till you can't play. It's because it's the greatest game in the world, is my view. I'm heavily biased, clearly. But it's the playing with local community clubs is a really cool thing. So that's my piece of advice to all the AFL players who love the pod, and I know there's plenty out there that do. But if you got a player that was one of the all-time greats that you played with or you've seen play local footy, let us know. Let us know in the comments, and we'll be able to track them down, hopefully, and have a chat to them about it through the journey.
How long did you play for?
I played for 3 years. 3 years outside of when I retired. Just 3. But I've still been playing. I've been playing Masters footy.
Yeah, right.
Since then, I a Premiership player last year in Masters footy. So I'm still playing.
Yeah.
So I'm 49.
There you go.
Just gone 49. I'm still playing because I love the game. It's the greatest game in the world.
Yeah. How's Masters footy compared to some of the local footy ventures you've had over your time?
It's good. It's good. Guys who have been out of the system, who just want to come back and play with their mates, who are clearly out of nick, myself included. But it's good footy. It's full rules. There's no restrictions apart from don't get your knees up when you're jumping in packs. Yeah. Outside of that, it's full scale footy. 20-minute quarters, and it's great fun. It's great camaraderie. For blokes my age, I'm not doing it to get fit or to be the best. I'm doing it because I want to hang out with guys that love playing footy and have a few beers afterwards. So that's what I love about Masters footy. It's still some outstanding players. Yes. Like Bernie Deneen is our captain at Marcelin, and he's a Eastern Footy League 3-time medalist. He's a amateur 3-time medalist. Like, he's just a machine, absolute machine. So watching him run around at 40s, 7 or 8, whatever he is ridiculous. Makes me sick. But it's great fun. I love playing Masters footy.
No, it's great. And anyone that does play with Harf, let us know how he goes. We'd love a rolling update throughout the year. I think that would be fantastic.
Stay away. Stay away. Hey, we touched on before, it's the start of the season for a lot of competitions. The Easter weekend is a good chance to get a lot of people in your vicinity, particularly regional areas seem to really embrace this Easter weekend opening for their footy season. Not all the games get played. A couple of games in different comps get played. What are some of the key ones that you've got for me today? In fact, I'll kick it off. The Morning Peninsula Footy League is where I want to start, because I used to go, Mum and Dad used to live in Sorrento.
Okay.
So I'd go down and watch Sorrento play. They used to have the Good Friday Clash for a long time. I'd go in, a huge crowd at Sorrento Oval, and they'd play Dramana, or they'd play Rosebud, or they'd play whoever it was. And it was one of the great days. One of the great days to go out and just watch footy at the Sorrento Footy Club on the Good Friday. They're not hosting this year. I can see on my list in front of me. They're playing though against they're on Monday. No, Saturday. They're playing Saturday against Rosebud.
Yes.
And down the Morning Peninsula Football Netball League.
So they've got quite a few games on the Easter weekend, the Mornington Peninsula Footy League. So in Division 1, they've got 2 games. So Mornington and Dramana, that would be a big clash. And then Langwarrin taking on Edith Vale Aspendale, which they're doing in both the men's and the women's competitions. So it's great to see that. We're seeing more women's games getting that standalone time as well.
Yeah, good.
So that's always fantastic. Awesome. Chelsea versus Bond Beach, and then the Demons of Rye take on, is it Tyab? I don't know how you
Tyab, yep.
Tyab. So there you go. So in the end, what's that? Six games across the Easter weekend in the Mornington Peninsula Footy League. So they're really embracing local footy being played at that time slot.
So they're playing Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Well, on that, let's go through a couple, because the one that stood out for me was the Ovens and Murray. way up in the north of Victoria. So they've got a couple of Good Friday games in their division. So North Albury taking on Lavington, and then the Wangaratta clash.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Wangaratta versus Wangaratta Rovers. But then they've got a game on Easter Saturday in Corowa Rutherglen versus Wodonga. And then they've got 2 Easter Sunday games. I haven't seen this, and I'm not sure if it is a tradition over in Ovens and Murray or if it's because of the timing of Easter. I'm not too sure, but they've got Murderford taking on Albury and then Yarrawonga taking on the Wodonga Raiders. And they're both on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, so they've got games Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
What do you think about that from a local perspective?
Well, I reckon the players would be keen to play because they just want to stop training at the moment, or the players just want to play games. So I don't think you'd have too many issues with availability. It's just about whether or not you're going to get the support from the local community. But as I said before, I think regional Victoria is the place to do it because people go away. The city folk, they go away. And they head off into the regions and they have the Easter long weekend. They go camping or they go hiking or they just hang out with mates in the bush, so to speak. So it's probably not a bad way to capture a fair bit of that market, let alone the local scene that wants to get back into footy.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And we might as well stay in country Victoria, around the northern Victoria area. In the Murray Football League, I've got my mother's side's from Cobram, so we always like the chance to go and view the Tigers. And they're the reigning premiers in the Murray Football League. They take on Newmerka on Easter Saturday.
I've got family in Newmerka, back in just scaling back a long time.
There you go. But they've got their whole round starts. So they've got 4 games on Good Friday and then a 5th game on Easter Saturday. So their round 1 is actually on the Easter weekend, not like other leagues where they've just got a few standalones. They're actually starting their season. So they've got a whole heap of games to look at. Moama and Echuca United is probably one I'm also keeping an eye on as well out of that list there. Let's move to the Bendigo League. So they've got 3 Good Friday games as well. Castlemaine versus Golden Square. Gisborne are up against Kangaroo Flat. And then Strathfield Say versus South Bendigo. And then they've also got an Easter Saturday clash. So it is starting to get a little bit more common, but Eaglehawk take on Sandhurst there. So
who's the best team in the Bendigo Footy League? Who won there?
That's a good question. Let's have a quick look in the meantime.
Yeah. Because I remember, because Goulburn Valley is playing as well. Kyabram and Rochester and Shep United.
So Kyabram and Rochester, I'm pretty sure was the grand final last year.
Righto.
Yeah.
Grand final rematch. That's good.
And Kyabram got up.
That's good.
So yeah, to have that as to kick off the season is pretty cool, I would have thought.
I played in the Bendigo Footy League a couple of games for Kyneton, who are now in the Riddle Footy League. So they've moved. But when I was playing under the great Nathan Thompson, who was coaching the Kyneton Tigers back then for those 2 magical games, we were in the Bendigo Footy League and we got absolutely mauled by Strathfield. Say one game. It was 120 points. I think it was 20 goals. And then we beat Kangaroo Flat. No, Eaglehawk. We beat Eaglehawk in the second game.
There you go.
So that was good fun. I enjoyed playing a couple of games at the Kyneton Showgrounds there for the Tigers.
So Eaglehawk are the reigning premiers.
Right.
They won the grand final by 10 points over Sandhurst last year. And Sandhurst finished 14-2, but went down in the grand final. Second place was Eaglehawk. So, it's going to make for an interesting return for them. And, excited to see what they can do in the Bendigo League. So.
Righto, we'll see, keep an eye on them. But as I mentioned, Kyneton playing in the Riddle District Footy League these days, and they've got Woodend Heskett. So as a former grade of the club, I'll be barracking for Kyneton, but my brother and my mum and dad live in Woodend now, so I've got a bit of a foot in each camp there in that game. And Macedon taking on the Gisborne Giants as well. So a couple of good games there on Good Friday.
Absolutely. So, just on that, Eaglehawk Sandhurst, again, another grand final rematch, standalone Easter Saturday.
It's a good way to do it. I reckon if you're local footy, you can do a grand final rematch, especially if you've got a standalone day or weekend. It's probably not a bad way to do it, just to get the juices flowing again, isn't it?
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
I reckon it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, it really gets things going. So looking at more
Is that
of
what Bourne, Eastern District, Eastern Footy League have done this year? Because did Bourne play Blackburn? They did, didn't they?
Yeah,
in the grand
so
final?
we'll get to the Metro side of things. So the VAFA don't do a Good Friday game. No. They start their season, I think, on the 18th. Do you think that's a little bit late?
Well, they've taken out the double bye. They used to have a double bye in the middle of the year, so everyone go to Europe and go to the ski season. So they've taken out the double bye and just put the one bye in at the Amos. So that's pushed the season back another week. So it's a bit deep
okay.
into the year.
I did not know that
Yeah.
because, I do remember them having the double bye, and I'm not sure if that was something that that players particularly enjoyed. More for the ones that weren't really going anywhere. The ones that were making their way around, I'm sure they would have enjoyed the fact that there's a bit of extra time. But that's interesting. All right, so we'll keep an eye out on that. So yes, looking at the Eastern Football Netball League, they've got the one standalone Good Friday game, and it is again another grand final rematch. So yes, Balwyn taking on Blackburn in that clash. So
That'll be big at Cherry Road.
all eyes
great
on that.
rivalry between those two clubs. I remember when I was playing for the Tigers, the abuse that I would get from the Blackburn supporters through the time. So good luck to them on Friday. They were obviously devastated to lose the grand final in a pretty strong position late in the game too against the Tigers last year. So they'll be up and about. That'll be a great little stash at Cherry Road on Friday.
Yes, well, we can keep an eye out on that one. That is for sure. Looking at the Essendon District, they've got a little bit going on in their Good Friday clashes. So again, great to see representation with both the men's and the women's getting some Good Friday games.
Yep.
But starting with another grand final rematch.
Oh, good. It's the way to go.
Strathmore versus Keilor.
We're catching on. This is good.
Absolutely. So Strathmore won the grand final by 20 points last year. They take on Keilor again. They're also doing so in the women's, which is fantastic. And then we've got Hillside and Pascoe Vale as the other premier side there, game there rather. And in Division 1, Taylors Lakes and West Coburg. Division 2, Keilor Park versus Coburg District. So that's always very nice to see. Plenty of Good Friday action for the Essendon District side of the town.
Right, if you want your footy fix in that region, you'll be right for the weekend. And what about then your local hood, the Northern Footy Netball League?
So we've got the traditional Greensborough versus Eltham. So that has been the case every year, considering both sides are actually in Division 1. But yes, they will be taking each other on again. Last year, Eltham defeated Greensborough for the first time, I think, since 2018. And it was thanks to a masterclass from Mitch Robinson, who played a one-off game for them. Yeah, the former Lion and Blue.
Right.
So he was suiting up for Eltham. He won't be playing for them this year, but Tom Mitchell will be playing for Greensborough.
Now, this is a big story. Now, we're going to talk about Gary Ablett Junior in our next pod from Glenorchy on the weekend. And he's a Brownlow medalist, but is he a two-timer, Gaz?
Yeah, two-time.
Yeah, two-timer, yeah. I'm old. I forget stuff. But Tom Mitchell, Brownlow medalist, what a career he had. And he's going to be suiting up because his brother, Will's at Greensborough as well, isn't he?
Yeah, that's spot on. So Tom's going to get his chance at local level. I think his first local footy game for quite a while. Of course, obviously since retiring.
Playing for the Slime.
AFL level.
The Greensborough Slime.
Playing for the Slime. It's at Greensborough too. So I don't think this will be the only appearance he has for the club. I reckon he might be coming back at different times. But nonetheless, it's always a big occasion, Good Friday, between Greensborough and Eltham. And then Reservoir and Lalor, who are two clubs that have struggled in recent years in the Northern League, they will also have a standalone Good Friday game. So it's great to see that they're also getting some standalone time there, which is lovely. In the Southern Footy Netball League, we've got Springvale Districts hosting Dingley, Hyde are up against Keysborough, and Ashwood up against Clayton. My dad's side of the family's from the Clayton area. I remember growing up, we would always go to a few Magpies games when they were at the top of the tree, the Magpies. They're in Division 4 at the moment, but nonetheless, they've got their standalone Good Friday game as well in that league in Division 4.
So what we're saying is, if you're keen for some footy, some local footy, you have no excuse not to find it across this Good Friday Easter weekend.
And that's only Victoria. I mean, we could probably spend another 30 or 40 minutes going through all the other games that are taking place around the nation. And, of course, we had a bit of a Tassie wrap just before. But, yeah, it's fantastic to see that clubs are leaning in. And when Easter does fall at a suitable time, because I know that sometimes, I think last year Easter fell halfway through April, so it does complicate things a little bit with the fixture. But I think the sweet spot is that first week of April to just get everybody on board. And it's a great way to start the local footy season. So, yes, there's AFL, but don't worry about that. There's lots of local footy action for you all around the nation.
Everyone's talking AFL. Don't worry about that. No, get your footy fixed. True heartland stuff and local footy. That's what we're about here on the local pod. Don't worry about that. Speaking of, now, last week we caught up with Scotty Horton.
Yes.
Who was a great chat. And if you haven't seen it and you haven't watched it or listened to it, however you capture the pod, I suggest you do it. It was great. He was great company, really good company. Told a lot of stories about his journey. There he is, the big champion. Teddy, as his nickname, 'cause he had big teddy bear fat guts. He was great. 17 clubs he's played for. So the socials have been going bananas on the back of this. We've been put it out there. How many clubs have you played for? Do you know someone that's played for more? Have you come across Scotty? Lots of feedback on the socials. Take me through it.
Well, we've got a lot of players tagging other players, which is always what we like to see. I think first and foremost, a lot of the comments just came from the fact that there were some different photos that we put up of Scotty, which also appear, of course, in the podcast. So do make sure
the next one is the best one. No, not the next one. That's the one everyone loves. That's the one everyone loves. He's been thrown over the fence by two blokes. That's fantastic. That's local footy 101, that is.
But if you do scroll through the comments, a lot of players tagging others just to get them involved, and the following count is growing. So
is
that's
that
great.
Prime Train?
So Prime Train's just come in with the I've played for 35. Well, Prime, if you're listening, make sure you give us a list. We want to know what exactly those clubs are, and we want to try and shout them out. Because,
absolutely.
If you've claimed you've played for 35, well, we want to try and see it. So good stuff there. We keep going down. There's a few. So Jake Brown's tagged one of his mates. You'd be getting close now.
This is good stuff.
A few others would give this a nudge, says Josh. So there's lots of great reactions and laughing, and he gets around, says the GSEP. There was a comment as well. Yeah, Damien Cubido.
Yes.
28 clubs, apparently, says
28.
Spider Cracknell.
We need to get him on.
That would be great.
He's a story. He's a conversation we need to have. Him and I.
Okay.
We need to talk footy.
All right.
Because I remember I first met Damien Cupido when he was 16. Must have been 16 or 17.
Yep.
With the National Academy.
Okay.
And he trained at Hawthorn for a week. And we thought, who the hell is this bloke? Who the hell is this? This kid's serious. He's good. Of course, he went on to play a bit of AFL footy, but it's been 28 clubs. I'm not surprised, but I'm a little bit surprised.
If we do get Damien on for a chat soon, our other producer Rob's just informed me he has his Essendon badge that he would be more than happy to lend us for the episode.
I'd wear it. I'd wear it for him.
There we go.
I would wear it. He's I've coached against him. I've played against him. He's been around for a while now, Damien. Yeah, no doubt.
Jeremy, that just means 16 didn't want you, so that's very nice from Jeremy. Brent Henderson's played for about 23.
Go the negative, Jeremy. Keep it positive. Spreading the love.
Even Ricky Nixon's chimed in. Dane Swan has played for over 100, he reckons. I think that's a bit
it couldn't
extreme.
Possibly be 100. Now, the Chicken was my first manager.
Was he really?
Yeah. He couldn't have played for 100, could he?
I would not have thought so. He's definitely played for quite a few. I know he's gotten around over the last couple of years. But
we'll have to have a chat to Swanee about that.
And someone tagged Cupido, so he's also a popular one too.
Yeah, all right. We need to get a hold of Damien Cupido and have a chat about that, because he probably has more than Scotty with his 17. And if 28's a number, I want to know about it.
Well, that's exactly right. And you know what? That opens up the conversation. So having someone like Scotty coming on for a chat and just listing some of those clubs. And again, he was one that went all the way to the West as well. And we represented them. But it's great to see that there's not just him that's gotten around to a few.
Speaking of the West, I've got a Northampton jumper I'm going to wear next week. Now, we need to track them down too, because they are an amazing football club.
Right.
And an amazing region for producing AFL talent.
Okay.
Per capita, there would be no town, city on the planet that has produced more high-level elite footballing excellence than Northampton, I reckon.
Is that right?
I'm going to do some numbers for you, but we need to track someone down from Northampton, and I've got their jumper.
Okay.
Someone's going to get it for me this week, and I'm going to wear it next week. So that's the other thing. If you've got a jumper, you've got a hat, a polo, you want me to wear your colours on the pod, send it in. Let us know. We'll find a way to make it happen.
Yep.
Let us know, and I will wear your stuff on the pod. I reckon it's a great idea.
All right, so that's on the list of interviewees to try and track down.
We've got some work to do, Nico.
We do, and that's what we love. We love getting these people involved, because that's what local football's all about. And our next guest that's coming out later this week encapsulates that to a T.
Absolutely. So there's been plenty happening in the world of local footy. Easter weekend's going to be great. Get your footy fix, your local footy fix. Tell us where you're going. Tell us all about it. Who do we need to talk to? And give me a jumper to wear on the pod. That's what we're about. Local footy. It's all thanks to Premier Data. They're doing a great job, and they'll be busy across the weekend as well, getting ready for the new local footy season. We'll catch you next time on The Local.